Guess who's back? Back again. Shady's back. Tell a friend. Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Guess who's back?
Hey guys, welcome to episode 7 of the Tabletop Hangout, where me and friends in the gaming industry literally hang out, talk shop about what we've been up to most recently, and talk a bunch of shenanigans. I'm your host, Jonathan Phillips-Bradford of Eldritch Studios, and today with me we have Miranda.
Hello.
Who are you?
My name's Miranda, and I make battle reports sometimes for the internet. Sometimes I go under the name Wargamer Girl.
And Spencer Reeve.
Oh yeah, I'm Spencer. What do I do?
You tell me.
Very existential moment I'm having right now where I really have to self-reflect about life. I currently work. I'm just like.
He doesn't know where he is right now.
Yeah. I currently work for a toy company. We make designer toys, and that's that. That's that.
Awesome.
Sweet.
Liz?
Yes, I'm Elizabeth Beckley. I'm a miniature painter, and I just want to say I think we completely caught Miranda off guard with that intro.
Well,
Your highly tasteful musical choice, yes.
Well, here's what happened. Miranda has a blood oath that she's sworn that she'll never listen to any Eminem, and Jonathan played it, and she had to like hit the emergency button on her computer. In the rare case that Eminem comes through her headset or speakers, she has installed an emergency audio off button. And she had to read our lips.
Replace it with Rick Ross.
She had to read our lips to figure out when it was time for her to start speaking again. She couldn't know if Eminem was on, and if she breaks the sanctity of that blood oath, that the terrible things will occur.
I did hear when she hears it, she goes into a murderous rage and kills so many virgins. Just reaping fields full of them. It's ridiculous.
She's never gonna come on again.
Welcome to the
Well, this
show.
was fun, guys.
So I like to start off the show. Everyone just kind of talk about what they've been up to recently.
Wait.
Nope.
Oh,
Nope.
yeah, I forgot. There's someone else here.
No, screw it. Don't even talk about me. It's fine. Pretend like
Who's
I'm not
this guy?
here. I'm done. I'm leaving. I'm out. I don't want any of it. No, I'm Heath. I'm an industry concept artist. I've been drawing for lots of different companies for about 6 or 7 years now, and I just started my own new miniature company, Red Panda Miniatures, and we're launching a Kickstarter this Monday, the 20th.
Woo!
You guys should check it out and back it. Woo!
We all love Kickstarter.
Please back it.
Liz, that sounded like please back it or Heath won't eat today.
Well, will you?
Well, I already ate, so I guess not anymore, but that's only because I'm full already.
No, fair enough.
So I like to start off the show. I'll kind of talk about what we've been up to most recently. Games you've played, miniatures you've painted, anything and everything. So what you've been up to, Miranda?
So in middle of March or April or somewhere around there, Mark III for War Machine was announced. So I was like, I'm not doing another battle report until that's out, because
Oh yeah.
no way
What's
am I
the
putting
point?
40 hours in to have relevancy for 2 weeks. So I took a break for May and played. I actually got a Malifaux battle report recorded last night. I don't know when that will actually make it online, but it finally got recorded. And I'm very proud of myself for that. Beyond that, I've just been lazy and playing video games.
Yeah.
What video games?
Well, I mean, I've been doing my War Machine Tactics series. I have been alternating back and forth between War Machine Tactics, some Dawn of War, and a farming simulator. But that's neither here nor there. It's fine.
You know, thematically, it totally makes sense. Just
Build orders.
giant steampunk robots punching each other in the face, and then 40k Marines destroying things, and then growing all those carrots.
I was going to say crop management, yeah.
It's all resource management to a degree.
It is. Harvest Moon was like my jam, so
So-
I get it.
Goodness, that
So-
game.
Yep.
So when we talking Farming Simulator, we talking like Farming Simulator 2016, Farming Simulator 2014, or are we talking like Stardew Valley?
Yes, we were talking about Stardew Valley.
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell you how many hours I've logged into that game. It's a little
Yeah.
humiliating.
Look, don't shortcut it, Miranda. It's a farming simulator. It's a society simulator. It's a dating game.
It's a relationship builder.
Yeah,
You're a dungeon explorer.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
It's everything.
I explored all of the mines and killed all of the monsters. And I have everybody in town in love with me, but I'm not dating anybody because I'm just that kind of girl.
Yeah. Well, no. You have to keep your standards high, and let's be honest, you seem like a city girl in a country world. It's never gonna work. Never gonna work.
I know one thing about city girls, it's that they go into mines and kill monsters,
Yeah, they do.
first and
Yeah.
foremost.
Mm-hmm.
It makes sense to me.
What have you been up to, Mr. Reeves?
I've put my fair time into Stardew Valley. That's how I know a thing or two about Stardew Valley. But that's not what I've been playing
Yeah.
lately. That's not what I've been playing lately. I have been playing a lot of Witcher 3. I streamed like 3 hours of it the other day. And I didn't realize you have to check a box that says like, please keep past broadcast on my channel. So nobody will ever see that awesome stream because I just started a Twitch channel and streamed out just to see how it worked. Which really sucks because I had this really fresh moment where in the middle of a battle, I jumped off my horse to kill like 8 dudes, and then I turned around and my horse was just prancing in this perfect little circle, like he was proud of me, like he was just doing like a victory dance for me. And I was just staring at him, and I had this fucking amazing, you're just gonna have to believe me here, I had this amazing riff of like 10 minutes of pure comedic genius where I was just looking at this horse and saying like, my kingdom for a horse, I asked for a horse and they give me a show pony. I can't ever recreate it, but it was pure brilliance, pure off-the-cuff brilliance, and I was like, I am going to fucking edit the shit out of this video when I'm done, and I'm going to put that up on YouTube, and I'm going to share it, and then it didn't save my stream. So, that's unfortunate. But I'm playing The Witcher. That shit's real dope. It's real late to the party on that one. I've owned that game since the day it came out, and I finally just got into actually playing it. And then mostly outside of that, E3 is going on right now, so I've been watching a lot of like what's going on with E3. And I have a
trailer.
I have problems already with what's happening with Zelda because that looks exactly like my type of game. Like I probably put 90 hours into Metal Gear Solid 5, which is basically just Metal Gear Solid in an open world where you can do whatever the fuck you want. And that's what the new Zelda is. It's like, hey, we just created this big open world, and now you can just walk around and like spy on goblins and ride your horse, or you can just set up all these. You can climb also. Yeah, you can climb all sorts of shit.
Climb? I haven't seen the videos for the new Zelda.
So you can climb everything.
I want to cut down a tree and have it fly through a fire and then light a field of grass on fire and burn down a village.
You can do that. All the
villages in the new Zelda.
Yeah, all the grass is flammable and it spreads.
Yes.
So if you like light the grass on fire, it will spread out. So you can like smoke out the goblins. They basically took Far Cry, like the new Far Cry games, like 3 and 4, and they took fucking Zelda, and then they mixed in a little bit of like Monster Hunter and shit. Because if you cook the meat and you make like a perfect cooked meat and you eat it, it boosts your hearts up. But as you lose those hearts, they don't come back. So you're always at 3 hearts, and you have to buff yourself to like the next set of hearts, right? To have like 5 or 6 hearts with like these temporary buffs. It looks awesome, man. I'm so excited.
And will you be able to get it for Wii U or?
Yes. It's gonna be Wii U and NX.
It's out for Wii U.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I have no idea what the new NX systems are. So.
They haven't said yet, really.
Jonathan can thank you, Spencer, that he'll be able to play that game when it comes out.
I forgot about
True story. That was one of my favorite wedding gifts. Was Spencer Reeve got me a Wii U.
Yeah. Yeah, fuck everyone else. You sack of shits. Step your fucking game up. All that money, don't like it. I'd rather have a Wii U.
Pretty much.
Man, all I did for their wedding was draw them a family crest of a narwhal.
That sucks dick. Get a Wii U.
I liked my family crest. We still have to get a frame for it because he printed it in an odd size. So
But
it's
we
super
have the
expensive.
original. We have the original up in the kitchen.
No, here's what you need to do. You need to just burn that in your backyard and frame your Wii U.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yep. See?
Now you're
Put it in
thinking.
a shadow box on the wall.
Yep.
Yeah. Shadow box it. Every time you turn it on, it glows gently. Oh. That's the next step.
Like a lighted portrait of Spencer with some candles.
Yeah.
No, what you need is every time you
I mean,
turn
since
it
we're getting
on.
weird.
He did live in this house.
He did
So-
live in this house.
I lived in the closet.
Yeah. Next over here.
Gosh, you're not the first person I know who I know personally who's lived in a closet. It's weird.
It's a very small room. It's basically the size of a closet. I also refused to not take my queen size bed, and so I brought my queen size bed, my entertainment center, and my TV. This was years ago, and I was really living life right at that point in time. I
We
put them
all
all in this tiny fucking room. Between the edge of my bed and the edge of my entertainment center was probably about
Just enough to stand. That's it.
2.5 feet, 2 feet, 2.5 feet. And then the edge of my bed in the closet was 4 inches. So you couldn't open the closet doors. The closet was dead to me. I never opened it. My mom came over at one point in time. I tell this story to like when I was teaching English. I would tell this story to my kids about living, like what the type of living arrangements you'll have when you're in college and shit. And I'm like, my mom came over, and she was like, well, show me your room. Came in, opened the door up, and she walked in and she goes, you remember when you were a little kid and you were afraid that there was a monster living in your closet? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, you're the monster.
Spencer was the monster in my closet.
You're living in the closet. And I was like, oh yeah, this is a tiny fucking room. So, but it was good. It was a good 2 years. 1 year? It was 1 year. You want to change, right? I think I can't remember exactly.
I can't remember. That
Now
college
it's-
days was all a blur.
Yeah, and now it's our guest bedroom plus the room that like the cats chill in. So
It was
There's
like the painting room for a while, right?
it was, but now the room right next to it is the painting room, and yeah, that one's our guest bedroom. That one has a queen bed in it. It's still pretty. There's a decent amount of room.
Or your entertainment center is really big because there just seems to be so much more space.
The entertainment center was big. Because
Because
And
like
the-
I remember what that room looked like, and I know what it looks like now, and I was like, how does it have so much more space? Well, because there's no entertainment center, and there's just
It was the
That's
entertainment center really sealed the deal. It was the proverbial straw that broke the room's back.
I can just see it now. You've got the bed in there, and you're like, I got enough space for the entertainment center, but if it's in here, I can't open the closet.
Mhm.
What's more important to
we
me?
had a big living room with a big, nice TV and everything, but often we would all sit in Spencer's room to watch old kung fu movies.
Yeah. There was really no reason for that.
We all would sit in your room on your bed watching old kung fu movies, drinking.
Yep. One time it got real crazy and we all just had sex.
Yeah. Mr. Foley, what have you been up to lately?
Good luck following that, Foley.
Having sex with my friends in closets.
Oh.
Don't talk about last night.
No.
I need to hear about your Craigslist postings. Come on.
Dear Craigslist, I have a closet. Are you ready to rumble? Let's do this. Don't bring protection. That's for pansies.
That's too literate.
Looking for scrampies.
That is too literate for Craigslist. I need to be like, come, closet, bang. I'm sure my security guard at my apartment complex would love that. Just a bunch of weirdos like, so we doing this?
They just
Yeah.
print out,
Loves me, by the way.
the ad. They just print out the ad. They come and they just hold it up to the guy. They're like, "Here's what I'm here for." And he's like, "Third one tonight. Go on in, buddy."
Just get up in there. It's gonna get weird. Hopefully his neighbors don't mind.
Nah,
my
they smoke
God.
sage. It's
Oh, all
cool.
the sage they burn. in
Oh,
it.
yeah, all that sage they're burning. Yeah, that was cute. When my next door neighbor knocked on my door and she's like, "Do you smell something weird?" And I was like, "You mean all that pot coming from down the hallway?" And one of the girls comes out of that apartment and is like, "No, no, no, we're not smoking pot. We're burning sage." And I was like, "Well, your sage dealer needs to get you taken care of, because that is not sage, lady. Not sage at all."
Probably overcharging you.
Yeah, a little bit. I know I get my sage in dime bags. No, what I've been up to lately. Basically, my entire world has been dominated by working on this freaking Kickstarter.
Oh, yeah.
I'm super excited about it. Actually, I've got Spencer over here who has volunteered, and he's being a lovely man for doing it, to actually write some character bios. I've got another friend of mine, Craig, who's working on some world background stuff. Just building up this miniature line and eventually the board game into something epic. And it's getting bigger by the day, and I freaking love it. I actually just finished a new design today for the Kickstarter for a stretch goal. Like I said, we're launching Monday. Everything is lined up.
Can you preview that for the viewers?
Can I preview that for the viewers? Show them.
Are dozens of viewers?
Are all dozens of them. Let me see. I'll look it up.
Go ahead, Liz.
But yeah, just give me a minute.
What?
What have you been up to? What are you painting? What are you doing?
Well, I was gonna say we recently just went on vacation, so that was fantastic. To Florida, to a friend's wedding, to On the Lamb. Matt and Em got married, so that was fantastic.
Oh.
And then we went to see my grandpa because he lives in the Fort Myers area, on the Gulf side. So that was a lot of fun, even though it rained like every day. Still awesome. And then came back this week, and I've been working on a chibi tutorial for Cool Mini, Saria from the new Arcade Quest Inferno. I can hold it up, but I don't know. You guys can't see it. Jonathan, screen share. I don't know.
How would I screen share what's on your screen?
Well, no, I mean, like, you can, after you edit this, you can, like,
I'm
put
not
up a
editing
picture.
this.
Jonathan, use your magic editing skills to
Use your
make my screen appear on all of our screens.
Just edit it live. What? Just throw that in there.
Yep,
It's
he's
like
that good.
It's like when people ask me to do, like, Photoshop, like, can you turn this picture around in Photoshop? And I'm like, do you realize I can't defy physics? Like, that's not something physically I'm capable of doing.
Can we see the back of this character? That's fantastic.
Can we turn this character around? Can I also get that for free? It's like, what are you talking about? I hate you.
Heath, can I hire you to make unreasonable demands?
Listen, if you want me to make them, I will do it for days and it'll be awesome.
Me for free.
Oh my god. I will
Ask him for some furry animals.
Or just
Who
ask
likes furry animals?
Or just ask me for animals and armor, because at this point, furry's starting to turn into a hot topic word.
You love those little critters.
the type of words you find at Hot Topic.
Yeah, I bet you there is probably a Hot Topic has a shirt that says "You say fur like it's a bad thing." It's like a furry character with like a emo haircut.
I have to imagine that is true. I cannot imagine a world where Hot Topic isn't catering to the furry crowd. Like, it has to be a thing, right?
Yeah, listen, I know furry t-shirts exist, for sure, because at one point or another, Google targeted ad me in an email once when I was working with On the Lamb on their Brushfire game.
They're like, there's lamb in their name. Gotta be a fucking furry.
Yeah, gotta be. This monster's a furry. He'll know what's up with these t-shirts. I swear to God, it was the best targeted ad I've ever seen. I looked up in the corner while I was emailing, like, hey, finished another, like, furry buddy, what's up? All of a sudden I look up and it's like, furry t-shirts, check them out now. There's a guy in the costume and he was wearing a cartoon wolf head that had this like coy come hither look, like, hey baby, what's up? And I was like, what is this? And then I saw he was wearing a t-shirt and I was like, I have to, don't I? I have to click on this. I have to know what it says.
That locks you in forever. Google now knows.
When you clicked on it, did a fucking web page pop up that just said you've been added to the watch list? Like, just
Like the NSA is watching you
we got
now.
you, bitch. We knew you couldn't resist, and now you're on the list. And you're like, God, damn it.
Government just gets me on this list, and I have to knock on people's doors and be like, "Hello, my name's Heath Foley. I legally have to inform you I'm a furry."
You know what
You wonder why you're getting those emails recently.
True.
You know what they say, Heath, man? Curiosity fucked the cat, dude.
Curiosity did fuck the cat. Listen, if that cat was wearing the T-shirts on this website, it's guaranteed
Definitely.
that's what's going to happen.
Hey, that cat's getting laid. That cat's cool as fuck. He knows what's up. He's getting laid.
This just reminds me of when we did that cool mini podcast once, and then we came up with Goebbels the cat. That's all my brain is on now.
The
Yeah,
Booming cast, for some reason, could not go an episode with sounding anti-Semitic one way or another.
Yeah, Steve Avery started that trend.
It was never intentional, but it always managed to happen. What did Steve Avery say? He was working on a post-Holocaust game. So
and we were like, that's the world we're living in, Steve Avery. We are actually living in the post-Holocaust. Like, it happened, and that's the world we exist in.
And
He
then
meant
after that was
post-apocalyptic.
Goebbels the cat.
Yeah. Yeah, and then Goebbels the cat. There was another one too that was
Bad.
there was a couple of times people misspoke that it just was like, that's probably not the way that should come across.
Who's that? Who's the cat sidekick from Garfield? Goebbels. No, Nermal. Nermal the cat. Nope, it's Goebbels.
I think I said Goebbels.
It came from, you said Gerbil or something, and then we're like, Goebbels the cat. Yeah.
Goebbels.
Like, is his name Gerbil or something like that? Yeah.
I remember. I don't know those are still up anymore. Those cool mini cast.
I don't know.
They were talking about bringing it back. They were for a while. It's the same thing as it always was. It's just that time.
It takes so much work.
It takes so much work, and like that's where like this type of situation works out, right? Is that Google Hangouts allow for you to quickly make something that not only you can watch on YouTube, but you can listen to. Or whatever.
I don't have to edit it. I just click done and it's live.
Yeah. Speaking of which, Jared and I just started a podcast called Biffle Riffle.
So what is that?
So the way it works is it's Jared and I. We're BFFs, best friends for life. If you remember that from middle school. And then it's Riffle, R-I-F-F-L. So it's the full title is B-F-F-L, R-I-F-F-L. We wanted to make that completely impossible to spell so that nobody would ever.
You're never getting search function hits.
Ever.
Your SEO sucks.
If you ever do search it, will be the only result. So that's pretty cool.
Start making billboards.
Yeah.
What was it called?
Search,
Syphilis? What did you call it?
B-F-F-L-R-I-F-F-L. Really be in there. It should be B-F-F-L-R-F-F-L, but whatever. And the idea is basically it's just us two besties. We've known each other for a long time, and we just riff on the stuff that we're currently into. We talk about movies, comics, board games, video games. There's no real set topic. And we basically just allow ourselves a tangent, like into whatever comes from that. In the first episode,
tangents. That's
I know. In the first episode, we talk about the DC's Reborn universe, and from that spurs into what led to the DCU Reborn universe, and then we talk about what I was into, which actually spawns into like these strange YouTube channels that I watch before I go to bed, and then we start talking about what you do with your life pre-college.
That's YouTube.
YouTube. Yeah, YouTube. And then we talk about what you do while you're in college, and then life after college, and it really goes off the rails. So
that's fair.
Yeah. So it's just basically two guys talking about what they're into and what happens from from that what conversations spark from that.
Two friends having a conversation, hanging out, and the viewers or the people who tune in can pretend they are your BFFs for life as well.
Yep. It is an audio podcast. We don't do YouTube or the Hangout stuff because it was one of those things where I really enjoy the process of editing, so I knew I would want to edit. So I was like, I'll want to edit this because with the cool minicast, we would do things where we would repeat something that somebody would say, or we would turn like somebody's like little diatribe into like a song, and I wanted that to be a possibility if the chance arose. So that doesn't happen in the first episode. It's a pretty straight take, but occasionally. So,
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah,
Right?
originally I was hesitant on doing a podcast, but realizing with Google Hangouts, I realized I could do it without having to do all the work of editing.
Yeah.
I'm so busy editing as my full-time job.
Exactly, and that makes sense. Exactly.
Do you like editing? Do you also like editing when you're not editing all the time?
That's like Liz. She paints for work and then keeps painting when she's not working. It's ridiculous.
I still don't fucking know how. Like, all right.
He's a monster.
Like,
I mean, we love you.
Yeah, like on the creative art side thing, I sit around drawing characters all day long, but when I come home, the last thing I'm going to do is pull out a pencil and draw like a squirrel fighting a demon. Liz is like, oh, I painted stuff all day. Well, now I'm done painting all day. I guess I'll paint all day. Like, it is a constant process.
You should see my desk. It's
horrendous.
There's so much. Like, this is work right now when I'm working on, and, huh, what?
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say this is work, but it's not work, because I do what I love, so...
Well...
Unlike you jerks, obviously.
You guys suck, I do what I love. Live your passion.
I really like making videos, but when I'm done making videos for the day, I don't want to keep animating just for fun. Because it's tedious. I want to not have to focus on something.
Although I will point out, going back to Spencer's podcast stuff, editing sound is actually pretty fun because you have so much more flexibility with that. You're like, oh, you said this? Well, let me just change it out with this, and nobody will know.
Yeah.
I mean, not that that's ever happened with me or anything.
There absolutely has happened with me. There was definitely a time in the Cool Mini or Not podcast where I said, well, earlier you said this, and then I went back and listened to the tape, and I was like, oh no, I was totally wrong. And then I edited it to make me look right.
I remember that. Good times.
Pretty
Fantastic.
good.
I have done that for battle reports. That's part of the narration process. I'm like, whoa, I messed up that roll.
Yeah.
Insert. Perfect.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I think I've heard Jonathan he edited the Wrath of Kings videos, and it was your voice, Miranda, so
Yeah.
That was pretty fun.
That was fun. That was fun doing.
It was a nice change of pace, editing to listen to Miranda's voice and Michael Chanel's all day when I'm doing Wrath of Kings and Dark Age. Nothing against Michael Chanel, but his voice isn't as pleasant as listening to Miranda for hour-long battle reports over and over and over again.
Were they an hour for Wrath of Kings?
For the first few battle reports, I believe they were close, like 45 minutes or so, and then we changed the format to be more of because there was so much banter. And we changed the format for the battle reports to not have banter and just go straight to this action to this action to this action, which is more what wargamers like as opposed to selling a board game. You kind of want to sell the fun of the environment it sells. So with the board games, we ended up still doing the banter and back and forth. While the war games is all just tactics and straight to the point of what each character did.
That's a fair point, although I think banter does well if they, like Mini Wargaming does banter battle reports, and they do well because the people playing are such characters.
Mm-hmm.
I don't do banter battles, though. So it's definitely a lot more fun. Although, for what it's worth, I still have Wrath of Kings stuff totally ready whenever I can find somebody who will play battle report with me in New Mexico.
I was like, I know how to play still, but I'm nowhere close to New Mexico.
No, I think our Malifaux meta, which has cropped up after Age of Sigmar came out, because it used to be the Warhammer Fantasy meta, became the Malifaux meta, and they seem to be starting to get maybe a little, I don't know, not necessarily bored, but kind of looking to do other things as well. And so now they're actually looking at Wrath of Kings, and I was like, oh, I know that game. I have miniatures. You should come over.
Right now, my favorite miniature war game still has to be Guild Ball, because it's so
One of
few
these days I
models.
will play that at Adepticon. People were raving about it. Everybody's like, "Oh my god, play Guild Ball! It's so fun! It's like a sports game except fun." And I'm like, I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
It's like a tabletop war game, but it's actually enjoyable. Like that's a hell of a description. Jesus.
It's
That's just what their banner says in the vendor hall.
like
It's
no.
a-
Sorry, go ahead. Go
yeah,
ahead.
it's. I mean, I've only played like when Mario taught it to us at Kingdom Con, the shirt I'm wearing right now. That I think about it, and it takes the right pieces and parts from other war games and puts them into a new context, a new theme, and also is like I think the max unit size is 6 or 8. Okay, it's 6, yeah. Because basically you can field, is it 4 guys? Wait, no, you field 6 and you can have 2 on the sidelines.
Maybe, yeah. But a game only ever has on the board
Yeah,
a
6.
captain, 4 players, and a mascot.
So your tournament size team is 8 because you can bench 2 guys. Because if your characters die, you can swap your bench guys out.
I've never seen that.
Yeah. So when you play, the idea is that you put your guys on the field, and if they get killed, they go into like a resting state. They get benched. And I think if you wait one full round, so my turn and Jonathan's turn.
Yeah, they get an
that guy-
icy sponge token.
Yeah, he moves up to 1 tick. If you wait a second round, he moves up to a second tick, which is like 33% of his health, 66% of his health, and then finally 100% of his health. He can come in in the 3rd round. He can come back in at full health.
But 3 rounds in Guild Ball is it's like a huge chunk of the game.
So you can have 2 guys on the sideline that if that guy gets knocked out, you can bring him in. If you don't have those guys, then you're just out of player for however many rounds, right? But it's a dope game. It's really fast paced. It does a little bit of the stuff that War Machine does. It kind of plays like a
It's
lighter
like War Machine meets soccer.
Yeah. It plays like a lighter War Machine with a
I'm not
sports
gonna lie, that sounds convoluted as shit.
Yeah.
But it's not.
Yeah, it's really
Those were the worst examples you could have brought out.
I will
How
say
do you
this.
make soccer interesting? You just yell the description of what they're doing because they're not actually doing anything.
Oh
You
man.
know, think of 6 models pushing across the board just to kick a ball on the other side of the team, but different teams are better. Some teams are good at scoring, while other teams are just really good at murdering each other, and all the different pros and cons.
There's like defense.
Well, just hearing the initial description of it, that reminds me of what Blood Bowl was.
Yeah.
I mean, is it very comparable to that?
Yeah, everyone basically says it's a more digestible Blood Bowl too, right?
It's very streamlined in comparison.
It's basically if you want to make Blood Bowl and then instead of aping like Warhammer rules, you're aping War Machine rules basically, because you have a way you divvy out like the number. Each character generates a certain number of, what do they call it? Influence points, and so that's your total pool, and then you divvy that out to which character. So like all your models on the board might generate 15 influence, and then you might go like, well, this turn this guy's going to make a big push, so I'm going to give him up to his max influence, but that's going to shortchange everybody else on my team.
So it's kind of like Infinity's activations, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm not.
The more influence a character has, the more actions they can do, and they all have a maximum amount of influence and how much influence they bring to the team.
Yeah. And I'm not a big war gamer, and it was very digestible and understandable for me. And I could definitely see the appeal of it because small model number on the table at a time, and it's a pretty simple rule set. There's a little more advanced rules like doing snapshots and stuff like that, where like one model passes the ball to the other guy and he immediately takes a shot. That stuff is a little more complicated, but it's digestible for sure.
So for the model count, do you find you would change the models you choose out a lot, or is it typically going to be a set team?
It's normally, every time I've played and played against people, is both teams have just had 6 models, and then we played on that game.
Right, but are the models unique in and of themselves? Do you change them
each
out?
character?
Yeah.
Each character is very, very different. And there's different, like, for example, I play the Alchemists. There's 2 different captains I can choose from. I only own one. So I have a captain. I have my one guy who kind of like acts like a goalie because he gets bonuses for being on this side of the field. And then I have 2 other characters that are really fast and stuff like that. So they're all very dynamic of how you build your team Like, you want your team to be more mobile. You want like different characters synergize better together and stuff like that.
Yeah, and another way to think of it is that there's no unit basically in the game. You're not going to have like 4 of these guys. Each guy is going to be a named person that has a specific like rule set that is attached to him and skill set that's attached to him.
So that sounds a lot actually like Malifaux.
Yeah. So
it would be more kind of like Malifaux or the characters in Dark Age, where it's you don't have squads of anything. It's all just individual characters.
Fantasy hero soccer fight.
It reminded me of playing Mega Man Soccer in the tabletop version.
And the miniatures are really pretty.
Yeah. Yeah, they look really super nice.
The main reason I bought the game was, one, everyone was telling me it was awesome. Then Liz goes, "Hey, I want to paint those," and I was like, "Sold."
I would definitely play games if I had somebody who's like, "I'll paint that for you." But like, there you go.
Yeah. The team is yet to be fully painted, but I'm a sucker.
It's okay. You enjoy playing the game. You'll be fine.
I do. I gotta play again. You gotta get your team, Heath.
Yeah, I need to get a team that's good against the Alchemist, just so like, my entire goal when I play board games against Jonathan is to crush him, because 90% of the time he wins.
That's the best goal.
But about 90% of the time, because he is so very objective-oriented when it comes to board games or tabletop games or anything, that he'll be like, "What do I need to do?" "All right." And then he'll just blast through and destroy everything else to get to that objective.
I imagine that's been fairly drilled into Jonathan's head at this point.
I'm pretty sure.
Here's a board game. Learn it.
Yeah. I'm sure. Like, we played Dwarf King's Quest because we were doing some game research, and Dwarf King's Quest from Mantic, and it's fun. I enjoy it. I also design characters for it, so I'm biased. But literally the very first campaign, Jonathan's like, "All right, what do I got to do? I got to open that door." "All right." And he's literally in the first turn. Because I play the dungeon, he plays the heroes. He just blasted through, hit the door twice, and knocked
all
it down.
the enemies. Yeah. The game wants you to go attack the different enemies and stuff like that. But I realized there's no I'm not getting much of a reward for killing these monsters. My way for me to win is to open this door.
Yep.
I just maneuver around all the bad guys as fast as I could and just beat the door down.
I'm not kidding. It was the first round of him playing his characters, and I was just sitting there like, I did that thing that you do when you're in complete disbelief, where you look back at your rule book and read it for 10 minutes. Like, no, it's not possible. It can't be true.
To be fair, it was kind of like the intro mission.
Oh.
No. You did that last night in Arcadia Quest, you jerk.
Well, I didn't just straight win. I almost straight won, but then.
I almost straight won.
Listen, I swooped in and at least slowed him down.
I just got my ass handed to me by the monsters.
Yeah, you could have teleported, but you didn't.
I was dumb.
It's okay. Liz, you had my luck in board games last night.
I really did.
Yeah.
One game I can never win, still, it's a newer game I got, is, what is it, Dark Deeds by Games and Gears?
Mm-hmm.
That game, I cannot roll over a 3 to save my life. And that whole game is based off that one dice roll for success or passing on everything. Like, you get modifiers from cards you end up getting, but that game just has me cursed. I literally was fighting one guy for 3 rounds where I had to roll a 5 on a D12.
Yep.
And I cannot beat it.
D12.
Yeah.
I was like, I got a 6. I'm like, I don't know. That's okay. D12. That's sad. You suck.
No, it was terrible. It was terrible. I was like, this is most what Heath feels like when he plays games with me every week.
Yeah, you're damn right.
Spencer with dice.
Spencer's dice in Arcadia Quest is some of the funniest things ever.
No, it was Zombicide.
Zombicide at one time, he was awesome. One time Spencer was
lucky.
playing Zombicide, and he had the character that gets +1 range on all attacks, so even melee, and he just had frying pans. And frying pan, you have to roll a 6 on a d6 to hit. Yeah. And he was just murdering everything. It's the only time I've ever seen Spencer roll really well.
The only time I've ever
just set the odds really hard against him.
Yeah, I got to be down and out. It was pretty impressive. I have to admit, it was pretty impressive.
And since he had range with frying pans, I just picture him to being like Kratos from God of War, just chained frying pans swinging around killing zombies.
Did you see the new God of War?
Yeah, I saw the trailer.
I saw a trailer. I couldn't tell if it was cinematic or gameplay because
It's
that's
gameplay.
how the
It's
games look.
gameplay.
Yeah.
It's gameplay.
That is insane.
Here's the thing I heard that really kind of saddened me is because you see the trailer and it looks super open world. You're just kind of
Yeah.
wandering around behind this
Yeah,
kid.
yeah.
It's doing stuff and it looks incredible. It's beautiful. It's a whole different feel because God of War is like cartoony levels of violence.
It's sex.
Yeah,
Rip your
cartoony
heads
levels of violence and sex.
Don't forget
The
that
new
part.
one looks pretty serious. It's like
It is.
It's Nordic. It's grim. It's very highly detailed. It looks beautiful. But then I read an article the other day that's like, warning, new God of War isn't open world, and I was just like, ah.
So it's have you played the most recent Tomb Raider, Rise of the Tomb Raider?
No, and I desperately want to play it.
Okay, it's excellent. And the thing about it is, it
Like
isn't open world.
sections.
It isn't open world either, but it's sections.
Yeah.
And they're big open sections where you can kind of do a lot of ways around.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
So kind
supposed
of
to
like
be
Bloodborne or Dark Souls. It's not exactly open world.
and it's supposed to be like that, but wider than those games. So like you have lots of ways around an area. You can kind of explore the area.
Mhm.
The combat system definitely looks like they took like a lot of inspiration from Bloodborne, where they're like, oh, this guy's gonna swing this giant thing at you, and it's gonna have a long wind-up animation. But if he hits you, it's gonna send you across the stage, and you're gonna take a ton of damage. It's not the whole like knock it up in the air and rip its eyeballs out. It's way more strategic. It's like a little more slow paced than that. And then the storyline is supposed to be like after Kratos goes and kills. Okay, after Kratos goes and kills all the gods in Greek mythology and fucks all the women, because we know he did that too, thanks to the awesome cutscenes.
As long as he doesn't do it like Zeus, where he like is a golden shower on a lady.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
you push the buttons and the pots fall off the
pots fall
side
off.
thing.
Because
Yeah.
fucking Kratos fucks hard, dude.
Yeah.
He shakes the entire bed.
Wow.
So after all that, he just wanders the earth because he's like, well, I can't die because I'm a god now, and I got nothing to do. So then he walks his way up to like a Scandinavian country, and then has a kid. And now he's just like a guy who's got all this internal rage from all the previous shit he's done, and all these existential crises, and he's like also trying to be like an okay dad. And that's the entire plot of the game is like, is Kratos a shit dad? And you're like, oh, I guess I gotta play this game and find out whether or not Kratos is a shit dad.
Yeah, the whole trailer is like, watch Kratos be an okay dad in a Nordic sense.
He's a shit dad in the trailer.
Listen, his kid shoots him in the shoulder with an arrow, and he's just kind of like, all right, cool.
We should put a spoiler warning up here, guys. Spoilers. He's a shit
But
dad.
the best part is Kratos' kid kills a deer, which he was struggling to do the entire trailer, and then Kratos like kind of reaches his hand up like, I'm gonna pat my kid on the back, and he's like, but that fucker shot me in the shoulder, and he puts his hand back down like, yeah, you ain't getting this pat in the back, you piece of shit.
The new God of War's surname is Emotional Distance.
Had a family though. Do you guys remember? He had a
That just
family.
reminds me of your rant, Spencer, about Jango Fett just needing a kid.
Oh yeah.
And the logistics of
At some point in time, I'm gonna take that rant and
I don't
I'm gonna-
know what started it. It was just at one point you're just.
It was my problem with the prequels. We were talking about. Oh my god. We were talking about the characters in the prequel, and I was saying that in the prequel, the biggest problem is not just like the terrible story arcs, but that every character is like underwritten, right? And like the issue with Jango Fett is he's underwritten to the point where he's like he wants this kid, this clone of himself, and I'm like, why would you want? All right, it's about to get a little blue, guys. It's about to get a little blue here. But why would you want a kid? Why would you want the responsibility of raising a kid without all the enjoyable parts that come before it? I'm talking about sex. So what? I was like, what's the point? This character just goes like,
Lucas wrote it.
yeah, and that's my thing. Is like, just imagine Jango Fett walks into Genoa or whatever, Genosis, and walks in, and they're cloning all these Jango Fetts. And they're like, all right, what do you want for your payment? And he's just like, I just want a kid. Like, that's the whole rant was just this guy with a terrible lisp for some reason saying he just wants a kid. I just want a kid. And the best part was we crafted this story where this fucker wants a kid, and actually he wants 2 kids. The best part is, the pinnacle to me was the best part was, if you remember in the movie, the cloning planet of Genova or whatever, Genosis, is it's always raining and it's this ocean planet, and they're on this like floating like oil platform, right? And he walks in and he gets his kids and he's like, okay, this is your Bo and your Buh. He's got his 2 kids and he's walking out and it's raining and little Buh slips and falls into the ocean, and he turns around and he looks at Bo and he's like, okay, your name is Boba now. And that's how Boba Fett is created. Yep. Because he just needs a kid.
And I still don't understand, like I've talked to other people about it, like, why the hell did Jango Fett want a kid? So we're like, well, he wants to pass on his lineage. I'm like, he could have just gotten an adult clone. Like, there was tons of them.
And the whole part, too, is he's like, you think he's going to be like, I'm going to raise you to be the ultimate killer. You already are the ultimate killer. You're fucking Jango Fett. What are you going to do? And then Boba Fett doesn't do shit that entire... Oh, man. What are we getting at?
There's such deep-seated frustration with Bo and Buh.
Bo and Buh. And then one of them did
luckily, Phase 3 of Star Wars has been much, much better than Phase 2 so far.
That's
Agreed. Agreed.
A lot of people hate what's-his-face. I thought Kylo Ren was awesome.
Dude, I remember when that movie came out, all of my nerd friends on Facebook, from like light-end nerd to deep-end professional nerd, were just like, Kylo Ren sucks, he's just an emo bitch. And I was sitting there like, the dude is this like dark side character who takes a bowcaster, which the newest movie was a love letter to how powerful that damn weapon was. It's like a grenade launcher but a laser. And even Han Solo picks it up and he's like, I like this. And then Kylo Ren gets one in the gut and
takes a knee, takes a thug knee, gets back up, and he's just like, I'm ending this. And then he goes out and fights 2 people, which one of them turns out to be a Jedi prodigy. Spoiler alert.
Oh my goodness.
And the whole time he's sitting there like basically using the Force to keep his guts inside of his body. And then people are like, he's an emo bitch. And I was like,
I think, but see, this is the thing, and this is my, oh my god. Okay, on the first episode of Biffle Riffle, this is something we get into about Captain America saying Hail Hydra, right? And how everybody lost their fucking minds, and I was like, just let him tell the story for a little bit. Don't get done with the very first thing and go like, fuck you, I'm out. And this is my thing with.
What are you talking about? Don't you know anything about nerd rage? That's exactly what your point is.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. I'm saying that's the same thing with Kylo Ren. They did a perfect job, if you call character arc, right? There's a character arc to this. Kylo Ren is a perfect character. He is a indecisive, young, flawed Sith at the beginning of this movie. He basically straight up says, I'm going to kill my dad, the guy that I've always wanted to love me, who is right here standing in front of me saying, come home and I will be there. Come home and I will love you. I know I wasn't around, but come home and I'll be there. And he fucking kills him. And guess what? Now he's going to be the nastiest motherfucker you've ever seen. But you have to start somewhere. You have to start with that character. Because if he just shows up and he's a bad guy and he's bad the entire time, that's fucking uninteresting, right?
Well, and I don't think he'll stay bad the entire time, too. He's the only character in the series that I'm aware of that is actually tempted by the light side. And considering the original arc is redemption even for Vader, they will have redemption for
I think that they might, or maybe they won't. I mean, it would be nice if they didn't, right? I mean, there was some cute imagery shortly after the movie came out where people had photoshopped Rey holding a red lightsaber and looking like a Sith, and Kylo was using a blue lightsaber and looking more Jedi, and it was a cool idea, like the idea that they would switch roles, like next movie Rey would be trained by Luke.
Happens to her.
Well, would be trained by Luke and he'd fuck up again. Because the whole point of what's happened between episode 6 and episode 7 is that Luke never did finish his training as a Jedi. He left Yoda, Yoda died, and Yoda basically straight up said, like, yo, you're going to leave, you're never going to be a real Jedi, and there's going to be fucking grave consequences for leaving right now. I know you want to save your friends, but there's grave consequences if you leave before your training's done. which is two.
So he technically never became a Jedi Master.
Right. And
Did
to
he
the
still bring
credit,
balance to the Force?
technically Anakin Skywalker brings balance to the Force because Anakin's the one who throws
Jedi off
the Emperor into the thing, and then dies, basically saying like, "Yo," and that's the idea of balancing the Force. Some people have argued, oh my God, what people have argued that the elimination of the Force is where the arc was supposed to go, right? The idea that like there'd be, the idea that there would be a person who eventually gets to the point where they're the last Force sensitive person and they stop teaching people to be Force sensitive, right? The idea that like, yeah, maybe you'd be innately Force sensitive and it might allow you to drive a fucking pod racer better than other people or be slightly better than other things, but you wouldn't allow you to be a fucking magician, right?
Okay.
And Luke should have just been like, I'm hanging it up. I've either the evil empire, my dad saved himself or redeemed himself. I'm hanging up the fucking Force. I know my fucking sister's kids are gonna come out Force sensitive. I'm just gonna let them be. But he didn't. So now we have Kylo Ren, who obviously got a little bit of power. Power corrupts. He's tempted into the dark side. We have no idea who Snoke, right?
Emperor
is.
Snoke, yeah.
Yeah. We have no idea really who he is. So that'll be what will be interesting to see moving forward. But the idea that I think that they're playing with is that, and one thing that all three movies have done actually pretty well is basically said, like, if you abandon this before your training is complete, you will not have the wherewithal or the knowledge to not be corrupted. And all so far, even as shitty as the prequels are, they have laid that groundwork, right? The prequels played with it with Anakin.
An interesting way to look at the prequels about balance to the Force is if you like, it just wasn't portrayed properly, but a way you could look at it is because they said Anakin's supposed to bring balance to the Force, and in that trilogy, in a way, he did, because if you want to talk about balance, there was a huge side of the light and one or two dudes in the dark side. So for him to bring balance would be him to go to the dark side, and there would actually be more of a balance.
Well, as the prequels,
taking out a giant Jedi Council that's ruling the galaxy.
Not the younglings.
So
Oh my goodness. Well, I mean, the planet this time. Just saying.
Yeah, there's a lot of babies got killed this time. To be fair, there's a whole Jedi Council, like you said, and then there's 3 Siths, right, in the original prequels, right? There's Count Dooku, Darth Maul, and then Emperor Palpatine, right, Darth Sidious. And as we know, Siths always travel in pairs. So, as the prequel state. So, George Lucas, in his ability to write, literally wrote in the first movie, they always come in pairs. And then in the second movie, he said, there's 3 of them. What? Wait, what? I'm no mathematician, but pretty sure 3 is not 2 pairs.
That's great. Well, we're wrapping up the end of the show. It's been some great tangents about everything.
It was all tangents.
The entire show was one big tangent, but that's okay.
Well, that's what I have this show for, is for us to all just talk about ridiculousness and rant and talk about gaming occasionally. I always like to end the show with a round of one of my favorite games, Super Fight.
Huh.
I pick 2 people on the show, and I get to assign them 2 cards. And we actually have 2 people on the show who have never gotten to play on this show. First one will have to be Liz.
Yes. I'm terrible at this game.
Liz, you get to be, this is quite fitting for you, Canada, suffering from delusions of grandeur.
Like
Canada with an ego? What?
Yes. Canada that's suffering from delusions of grandeur. And Miranda,
oh, God.
you get to be the Statue of Liberty armed with an orgasm ray.
I watched Orgasmo. I'm prepared for this.
Did you watch Ghostbusters 2? Because the Statue of Liberty does some work.
I did. I was about to reference that too. Just
there you go.
So the way we're going to play this round, if for people who aren't familiar, you'll each get an opening statement and a closing statement, and that is it. You can't interrupt each other or yell over each other.
Well, wait a minute. What's the actual goal here?
You are the super fight is a game you're trying to argue who would win in a fight.
Who would just win between the two of us? Oh, okay.
Yes, it would be between the two of you, the Statue of Liberty armed with an orgasm ray, versus Canada suffering delusions of grandeur.
All of Canada?
All of Canada.
That's a lot of apologizing.
But they're suffering delusions of grandeur, so who knows?
Yep.
All right, so who would like to go first?
Not me.
She called it.
Okay.
So, Miranda, you are the Statue of Liberty, armed with an orgasm ray, fighting Canada with suffering delusions of grandeur. What is your opening statement? Opening argument.
Well, you know I'd win in a fight because I have already taken out, Vigo the Carpathian before, and that was even before I had my orgasm ray. And since you have typically been such an apologetic country, you probably don't know what an orgasm is, but I will show you, and you will not be able to fight. The end.
Damn, Canada, you ain't never had an orgasm?
Canada's got some blue balls.
Elizabeth,
Yeah,
opening
it's not worth
argument.
it if you've never fought.
I'm so terrible at this game. I'm so terrible. So I'm Canada, and I might never have had an orgasm, but I'm the entire Canadian population, and I'm very apologetic. I'm glad you touched on that, and I'm very polite. So I'm just going to, I don't even know. I have delusions of grandeur, so I think I can do anything because, we're Canada. We're just amazing. We have amazing craft dinner and bagels. I went to Canada. Oh, and it's cold. Oh, I can go with that. So you're a giant statue, and we're basically just going to, summon like the moose and the weather and hockey pucks and just attack you with those things because, hockey, and we're just so good. We're just so good. Hockey.
Okay.
I'm so terrible at this.
Holy
Closing
shit.
argument.
You got a shit draw. You got a real shit draw, too. I'm not going to lie to you, Elizabeth. You got a shit draw.
You should have ended with sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah, no,
Just started with sorry, ended with sorry. The end.
sorry.
Sorry
But
we
we have
beat you so.
amazing politics.
Sorry,
right?
I'm so great.
Sorry we beat you so bad there, eh?
Oh, and I have one more thing to add, that we will
Okay.
build a wall so that you cannot cross, because we want to keep America out.
Okay.
Just
Statue of Liberty.
This just feels like it got really awkward.
It
Are
just
mom and
now-
dad fighting in the kitchen? Is that what just happened?
Whatever, you're missing out on a great orgasm, Ray.
And then that's your closing statement?
Oh,
You get
right.
your last argument.
Let's see
Your
here.
rebuttal.
Half the population helped provide me to America anyway, so just saying. Fine, you can keep me out. You, so derailed now. I'll just, whatever. I'm just gonna invade you. I don't even care. QQ.
You can't invade a country that will let you just come in and just apologize for it.
You said you were building a wall.
Well, that's true. And we have White Walkers.
It's no
Because
fair
it's
if I can't break down a wall. I'm the Statue of Liberty. I like stab and kick things and shoot things, apparently. I don't know. This is the worst game ever. Jonathan, you need to come up with something better than this. Can't we do, like, a rap battle or something? Good lord.
Are you kidding? The endless entertainment we're getting on the sidelines of you two arguing like the champions you are is great. I like how your argument was just like, you get an orgasm, you won't be able to do anything, and her argument is Canada. That was it.
It's like ketchup, Heath.
The summation of this.
I'm Canada and you're the Statue of Liberty and I would win. That's what just happened.
All right, Heath, what is your vote?
I feel like I'm definitely going to give it to the Statue of Liberty with the orgasm ray because I don't think there's a loser there. I think all parties involved are going to have a good time. Even if Canada's up on their high horse and they're apologizing the whole time, they're just going to be like, oh, sorry. Oh, hey, oh, sorry. Just going to go home embarrassed, but feeling pretty good about themselves. So, yeah, Statue of Liberty, orgasms.
Spencer Reeve.
When it comes to who won this round of Super Fight, I feel we can all agree that everybody lost.
I agree.
Sorry, guys. Sorry.
But and there was, like, I really feel like Elizabeth, you got shortchanged. You had something you could have done maybe with universal health care, so you could always come back. You had something about delusions of grandeur. You could have said positive mental imagery, like using the secret to really overcome your enemy with a lot of putting it on your wish board, making it happen.
I'm gonna pin that.
Honestly, if I was the size of the Statue of Liberty and I had an orgasm ray, I would just talk about drowning you in your own ejaculate. Drowning an entire country in its own ejaculate is really just a really great visual image that we could all suffer through together.
The Great White North.
Yeah. Oh my God! Great job!
Why don't you guys play this game?
Holy, with the fucking assist right there, right?
This turned into a Spencer and Heath.
I put it up. He fucking dunked it in. Right? So, with that said, I still feel like the Statue of Liberty slightly takes the cake. Also, I don't have to sleep with Elizabeth tonight, so I don't have any.
You have to sleep with Miranda?
No, but I'm completely
No, Spencer's got to
unbiased.
sleep with me. We gotta.
Yeah. That's where I was going. I'm gonna sleep with old Heath Foley here.
Spencer, I got a closet with your name on it.
I'm putting in some work.
Here you guys.
I was like, too bad we didn't know Heath Foley back in the days of kung fu movies on the bed.
I know.
Otherwise,
I think we need to have super fights where we have like the hype man team behind them, just sitting back there, just like, oh shit,
it needs to be
North,
deal
with it.
It needs to be more like a team sport, right? Where like it's you two guys have this fighter and you two guys have this fighter, and you can like alley-oop off of each other and fucking work the scene like a real improvisational group.
You know what? If you'll be on that episode next time, we'll team you up with somebody, Spencer.
All right, that's not a bad idea.
And one judge.
Yeah,
Just
I'll
one
have to
judge.
be the judge.
Like, up the odds.
And I'll go ahead. I have to go with the majority vote of Statue of Liberty.
That's fair. Sorry, Canada.
You had so many opportunities.
You're not that sorry, Canada. You're very happy right now.
Yeah, I mean, orgasm is fucking fantastic. Especially, although I do have to say, hold on, I wanted to ask about this. What is the causality between being in a very apologetic country and never having an orgasm? Like all of Canada takes their pants off and goes, "Hey, sorry about that, I'll just put them back on."
Here's the I think this is assuming a Canadian is trying to hit on anyone else in the world, and they're just like, oh, sorry there, but you want to do it? And you're just like, no, go away. Whereas in Canada, that's probably an aphrodisiac, where they're just like, oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry.
Let's be sorry
I'm
together.
sorry.
Let's be sorry together.
Let's go take our snowmobile. Let's go get our snowmobiles and talk about mooses.
I just like the idea that they'd be in the bedroom and they'd be like, they'd both be getting naked like they're all ready, and they're like, oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry about all that.
Sorry.
Sorry. Like,
oh, I showed you my bits. Sorry about that.
and then like they both go home and they look at themselves in the mirror and they say, God damn it, one day I'm gonna not be sorry. Like one of these days I'm not gonna be sorry.
So, sorry, Canadians. I even have a bunch of Canadian friends. Probably not anymore, but, it's cool.
We all have Canadian friends, and they all will laugh at this, so it's
I
okay.
got none.
Are you kidding?
Fuck you, Canada.
I'm about to launch a Kickstarter. I just lost all my Canadian backers in one fell swoop. Like, I lost all my furry and Canadian backers, and especially my furry Canadian backers that are all dressing up like beavers and mooses. I'm not going to get any of their money now. Thanks. Thanks.
Well, thank you all for being on the show. It was a blast, and I hope to see you guys again. We should have another episode airing next Thursday, and thank you all for watching, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.